Hola, welcome to Good Chats, and happy birthday to everyone. Because Good Chats isn't just about me; it's about everyone here. So welcome, Daryl. Welcome, JK. Thanks for your wishes. Yeah, hopefully you can stick around for long enough for some interesting stuff, Daryl. I did see Daryl Phillips has a YouTube channel as well. Go and check him out. Google him. He did a really cool video on wheat shipping the other week, which would have taken a lot of research and a lot of putting together. But it was really well done. And I must say, too, it's like Daryl's most interesting use of craft work as music that I could think of, actually. Yeah, really interesting mix. And that's why I love you guys. And that's why I love YouTube, because we're not all just cardboard cutouts. Same M&A. Welcome, M&A Mystery Tours. Same thing, not just another cardboard cutout YouTube channel, and going great guns with their audience at the moment. So, thank you to Heather as well, if she's lurking out there somewhere. And welcome to all the lurkers as well, just in case you haven't seen this before. This is Good Chats. This is about everyone here, where we sort of come together on a Wednesday night. I've made this a regular 8:15 p.m. Wednesday night thing, so you don't need a timetable and you don't need notifications, although I will talk about notifications later. Um, but it's been a bit of a project over the last year, as far as I can tell, because for a long time I was deleting the live chats because, let's face it, the first couple were pretty crap. And with usually with the audience reminding me that they either couldn't see me or couldn't hear me or whatever. So we've come a long way in the 52 weeks since then. I've only missed 2 weeks, and that's because basically it just was not possible for me to do the stream. Either, I was in Sydney or I was didn't have one hand working. But at any rate, it's all under the bridge. Welcome, Mick. Welcome, Plane Train Guy. Thanks so much for your support. I've got an interesting proposition for you later. Yeah, thank you, Mark and Annette. You guys are doing really well. You're prolific, and I'm just it's just testament to just how us, we could, as everyday people, we can do our thing and get out there in the media. And if people don't necessarily want to let us into the media, and I've struggled a lot with that since getting my degree and my other qualifications in writing and media. Um, not to be negative, but I think that sometimes there's a lot of ageism out there. And so what we have to do, and what we have the platform to do, is to go out and prove to people that we're just going to go and do it anyway. And I'm so proud of everybody, and so proud of what I've done. Um, and it's hard work. It's the best job that I've ever had to pay for. Um, but yeah, it's a body of work that I would like to think would live on, particularly the niche that I've chosen with railway history. It's something that I've seen nobody do, particularly with the focus on where the trains were and not where they are. It's almost sometimes like seeing a train in some of my railway line videos. There's a bit anathema to what the purpose of the video is. Welcome, Graham. Thank you for coming on board. So I'm going to talk about my next video, which is the Outer Harbour line. I went down to Outer Harbour on the weekend to the Outer Harbour Loop, and that one's just sort of, it's not a huge video, right? But it's just been kind of, welcome, Heather. Welcome. Happy birthday to you and all the outdoors type audience. Thank you so much for 52 weeks of being entertained by you all. I just love it. Um, yeah, headed down to Outer Harbour, and I know it's just a tiny little video, really, but it's starting to grow. And yeah, I didn't really think it was hugely important, but as I've done my research, I've uncovered more and more, and I'll show you a little bit of that as well. I'll fire up After Effects and show you some of the animations. We looked at the photos last week, and I'm going to integrate those photos with the animations and the video that I took on the weekend. And then we grab some music and some narration that I've done both to camera and to the microphone, recorded separately. And so it is, and you guys, a lot of you guys who make videos will know this. It's a bit like weaving a tapestry together, right? So you take all the threads of the sound and the visuals, and you weave them all together to tell more of a story than just what's possible through words only. Even though I am also a wordsmith, but I, won't blow my own trumpet on that. Welcome, Josh. G'day. How you going? I'm really good, but I'm really tired. I'm pulling my third 12-hour day in a row now. It's funny how things change. Last week I was relatively underemployed, and then this opportunity with Camper Agent for full-time photography and marketing came up, and it's the perfect opportunity for me to now be completely outrageously overemployed, because that's a full-time job in addition to a volunteer one and a freelance one. So let's see if I've got this project. I transfer generally everything over to an SSD drive so I can bring it in here to the desktop computer, which runs a lot better. So excuse the old man looks at computer, stares at computer stuff while I try and find what I've done with this video. Oh, I know. I reckon I've plugged the USB-C into the wrong port again. Hang on. Maybe I haven't plugged it in altogether. So we're going to talk about Outer Harbour. I had another question about the South Coast Line video. I was going to talk about the new jobs that I got, but I just did. I was going to talk about something interesting I found with subscriptions and notifications, and you guys who watch your channels closely will know this as well. Of course, we'll do the book of the week, and perhaps if the vibe's right, we'll start exploring a couple of articles that are related to what I do in the social and cultural history and engineering around old railways. So what I'm thinking of doing is, because I'm taking my time to make this Outer Harbour video, I'm thinking of actually cutting the last bit out of the Victor Harbour, the South Coast Line video that I did recently, because that's by far the most popular part of the video. But it's right at the end of 18 minutes, so I'm not really sure how many people have seen it. So I'm just going to cue it up because it's just I think it's a really epic demonstration of the power of the soundtrack. You know what we're talking about there, Josh? The power of your voice and the power of the soundtrack. In case you know, in case you don't know, when it comes to the human senses, research tells us that sound overrides visuals. People will forgive visual mistakes in your video far more readily than they will forgive audio mistakes. But at the same time, when it comes to driving emotion in videos, music is the absolute number one overriding thing that gets to the audience's senses. So I've got that queued up now. Let me do my self-production thing, where we go to share Chrome. I have to tee that up and find that video. And I'm going to play that while I go find my SSD that should have been in the back of the computer. But hey, this is Good Chats, and that's how we roll. Hey, Steve, welcome aboard, mate. And so that is all teed up. And we'll turn the sound on. That's the other thing I got to do. And transfer over. Yeah, so what I'm proposing to do is cut this out of the end of the video and create a new video. Something about how awesome the trip on the train from Victor Harbour back to Mount Barker is. Here we go. Okay, so it's just after dark and we've arrived back at Mount Barker. Thanks for joining me on this journey. If you did like the video, then give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Right, we'll stop that. Transition back. Yeah, mate, that was such a... it was almost like being a little kid again, to be honest. Realizing on the trip back that we could actually just get up and wander around the train and just hang our heads out the window. Um, that was like being adult children again. I think by the time that we got back, I had so much coal dust in my eyes and my ears. That's not unusual for someone like me, an ex-raver. Plenty of early mornings, late nights, arriving home with a head full of dust. Yeah. So I will, snip that video out. I think I don't actually think many people have seen the end of that video. I watch the stats quite closely as I do for the brands that I work for, like Quest, for example, and soon to be, once I get my head around things, I'll be paying closer attention to what Camper Agent does as well on YouTube. But go and subscribe to them because in times to come, very soon, that will be me. Also, if you're on Facebook, go and subscribe to Walking SA. Everything you see posted on the Walking SA, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn is me. God, where else? Quest, that's right. Also on their Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, as I just mentioned. Everything posted there is my work, except for one video, which is really terrible. And I told them not to post it, but they're paying me. So, yeah, all right. Now I've plugged in that thing and I can bring up my little After Effects thing about Outer Harbour now. Well, I think I can anyway. Let's have a look. There it is. So welcome. There's 12 people watching at the moment, and I don't think everybody's checked in. So please feel free to check in. You don't have to be a lurker. Everybody's welcome here. And actually, we would really love to hear from more people. We'd love to hear what you're doing, what you've been doing, what kind of videos you're making as well. Give us some suggestions. Perhaps we can go and share them. I also love to share other people's work where I can as well, bearing in mind that this is kind of a portfolio channel for me. So, I have to work, fairly broadly, I guess you could say. So yeah, welcome to all 13 viewers. So you must be up in Belair playing Train Guy, I'm presuming. Welcome, Adventures with Beth. Thank you for coming. Much appreciated. Yeah. I will go check out your channel later on and see what's happening there. I always learn so much from looking at what other people do. So, yeah. Now, really, have I not got the right USB? My God, what have I done? Open a project. There it is. Oh, it's created with. This is this weird thing that Adobe does, right? I get used to working in everything Adobe 2023, and then all of a sudden they decide to release a 2024, and then I have to go and uninstall and reinstall everything. Why can't they just? They probably can do it automatically, but anyway. I've just ejected the USB. Told you I was tired. What I meant to do was go and find bloody Creative Cloud. There it is. 23. Right. Oh, really? Hang on. Okay, I'll open that. See how we go. Okay, yes. Well, I don't want to be this too old man looks at computer kind of thing. There's a great meme about that back in the day. And I don't want to become a meme. Welcome, Nini Morgan. Thank you for coming aboard. John back from traveling the world, back from Europe. I'd probably want to be back from Europe too at the moment, given all the turmoil that's happening. Um, Nini, you wouldn't believe that. Well, no, you would believe. Not yet monetized. Still got watch hours to catch up with, mate, and I see that reflected in a lot of YouTubers at the moment. A lot of people that I have, in some ways, grown up with on YouTube. Right, we're all getting up to those sort of subscribers, but watch hours is really where it's at the end of the day, because you can have 10,000 disengaged subscribers, but what advertisers are looking for is watch hours. I do not have enough. There's another stupid Adobe thing. Adobe. If anyone else uses Adobe, let me know. Yeah, no, come hither with Heather. I really appreciate you sharing my live stream. Thank you so much. Um, and all these people coming on board and having a look. The power of your social network is strong. The force is strong with this one. So, is it ready to scrub through? Let's yeah, I could probably scrub through that. Okay, so we're going to share the After Effects screen. We'll talk a little bit about Outer Harbor. Hey Josh, I haven't seen that reflected in my channel. The last contemporary reports on that I read was that Google had stated that it was going to be sometime before the end of 2023. Oh, that's interesting. Just a quick live and share the link on the live stream. I will go back and check that live too. Thanks, Heather. I love learning how all this stuff works, and thank you. That is really cool. Liam, welcome. Thank you for chiming in. Liam Matthews, thank you. Yeah, no, and every time I open it, you feel like when you open an Adobe program, they're like, your graphics card is out of date. Please update to the latest graphic card. And it's like, I only got this graphic card 3 months ago. Or they're like, your software driver's 5 minutes out of date or something. It's just really hard to keep up with. So I'm going to transfer over to a screen cap. Right, okay, that's good on you, Josh. So your channel's got the what's the word for it? The KPI, whatever it is, has changed on yours. Yeah, I've often thought it'd be funny to have a fans only channel, Daryl, but except to have a fans only channel that's not porn, just for the uniqueness of it, I guess. All right, so let's see if this window comes up. Oh, you know that I don't do screen cap very well, but especially live. 'Cause live's a little bit more difficult than other things. And I'm getting a really big delay on my monitor at the moment, which makes it difficult for me to tell if you're looking at the same thing as I'm looking at. um, what's going on? Oh, hey, Adelaide Public Transport Spotting. There used to be a James in the chat, but I banned him. So I don't know, maybe appearing on your chat. Is he appearing on everybody else's chat? Because I don't see it. I don't care. But maybe there's something else happening there that I have to work out. Because theory goes, if you hide a user from a channel, you wouldn't see them again. So be really interested to see. Yeah, cool. I assume so. Um, Hiding's not a great option. It's a bit like it's otherwise known as shadow banning. So that messes with the algorithm. I One of the reasons I got this hat is because it messed with one of my old bosses. He hated it, so I kept wearing it. Um, Also, good, excellent. Thanks everyone for that feedback. Really appreciate it. But shadow banning is not necessarily cool because the person still thinks they're there. So if you've ever been commenting a lot on somebody's YouTube videos or somebody's Facebook page or a group or an organization's Facebook page, and you're just commenting and you're making extreme comments on there, or you might be making comments that you're trying to fish for a reaction and you're not never getting a reaction, you've been shadow banned. They've just hidden you from the channel, and that's just one of the things that corporates and business have to do all the time. Um, yes, I will take my hat off to all of you at the end of the stream because you are awesome. Um, and getting monetized is not really the point anyway. Nini, I think you might have come in late, and I'm kind of overemployed at the moment. I think 4 jobs is enough for anyone, and so I don't do this for the money. The money will be really really good when it comes, because and then a lot of ways outdoors type is the end game. But everything I also do for work as a day job, a night job now, is involved around the outdoors business, camping, caravans, all that kind of stuff, and digital and doing their digital media. So yeah, things are going really well. Um, so why is my screen cap not working? Oh, that's because I haven't transitioned out of it yet. Maybe try that and then bring that up. Yeah, I'm marketing coordinator for digital marketing everything and digital media everything, videographer, photographer for Quest. I am a marketing assistant and photographer for Camper Agent. I am the media coordinator for Walking SA. Um, yeah, I hear you, Heather. It'd be nice to just cover costs. I don't think we're ever going to recoup the cost, but and that is part of why YouTube is so successful, is because they rely on all of us being passionate about what we do, and we all well know that they're serving ads on all of our content, right up until 1,000 subscribers, right up until we do 4,000 watch hours, and 4,000 watch hours over years and years and years adds up to a lot of watch hours and a lot of money. Generally, you'd be talking about 2 cents per view, because I've worked for I've had websites monetized by Google before, by Google Ads, and you're getting about 2 to 4 cents per view. And I have done a lot of freelance writing. Actually, freelance writing pays a little bit more. That pays up to 15 cents per reader. Um, yeah, it's about that, 2 to 4 cents per view on YouTube. It's about 2 to 4 cents per view on Google Ads. And that really depends. I mean, you've got to have a really strong website to make more than that. And so some of my freelance writing was earning about 15 cents per reader. I think I'd rather get paid $30 to $60 an hour for doing stuff in the real world. How did I get that job, Nini? I have been following that business for years, and I signed up to Seek Job Mail. So every day they send you new jobs that are in the area you want to be in. Um, and I've actually been applying for years, but my CV was finally um, was finally strong enough, and that took 7 years of being a student and driving a Coles truck and working at a bottle shop. Um, took 7 years, and no, the application process didn't take very long at all. I applied for the job Friday a week ago, talked to him last Tuesday, and I started on Monday. Sometimes you're just in the right place at the right time, and it takes a lot of time to prepare to be there. And I'm not here to teach anybody any lessons about that. I think you'll know what the value of working towards a dream is. And I've just been very lucky that I've had a great group of people around me to help me out. Um, yeah, but I have been waiting for an opportunity like that. And you got to be ready to start, ready to go. Yeah, less than a week, but everything just clicked. Um, they seem like a really great bunch of people who needed somebody like straight away, and I was able to step in and do that. So yeah, um, it wasn't it, it was a fun ride over that 7 years being a university student again. Let me tell you. And after having ran large retail stores for many years, uh, it was also it was just such a great relief to just step away from stressing out all the time, and changing over into something that don't have to stress out all the time. Media is fun, so I recommend it if you can afford to live like a university student for 7 years. Um, I did a Bachelor of Media, majored in visual design at University of Adelaide. Anyway, we're looking at um, Outer Harbour. Nah, uni's not too bad. You just charge the government for it, and if you never ever earn over $53,000 a year, you'll never pay it back. So just do the help debt. So we're looking at the northern end of Outer Harbour at the moment, and this is a Google Earth view. And so what I do now as well, I've studied the Google Earth. Sometimes I'm a bit of uh, a legal stick in the mud to my own detriment, and so um, what I've learned is that Google requires their branding to be on the screen all the time. Um, Start uni again, Heather. It's never too late. Do it. You love it. Um, and Josh, thank you for paying the international fee. I have to say, mate. I've got a lot of respect for that. Um, Josh, for those of you who don't know, he comes from Hong Kong, um, and he's an awesome guy. He came out with me on the Victor Harbour ride on the Steam Ranger. And we've long been able to bounce ideas off each other, and it's great for me to have somebody a lot younger than me to be able to chat about ideas with. Um, I've got kids myself, but you generally don't sit down with your 17-year-old daughter and talk about what you're doing at university. 17-year-old daughters, there's a whole nother subject. Um, So, so what I found about this loop, and you can see the loop somewhat reflected there, and I'll just scrub through this now. It's all loaded up. This is just a quick and dirty animation that I did. But I still have some work to do on finishing. But the Outer Harbour line used to run all the way out to the wharves at Outer Harbour, and freight used to run up that line, as you see there today. Um, I think most people in the chat are content creators of one shape or another, but not everybody, and that's really fine. One person I'm missing lately is Max Hobby. He's been here for nearly every stream, and for the last couple of weeks he hasn't been here, so I hope he's okay. The line that's coming up now is the current loop, which was rebuilt in 1926. And then as I keep scrubbing through the animation, it's still a really short animation. Oh, I hope not. Um, and then there was what's coming up now is a 1974 deviation, which is why you see that big space on the seaward side of Lady Gowrie Drive, because they moved it across the road to where it is now. And then they got rid of all those lines, and then they got rid of that line. And then the Pelican Point line was built. And so all that remains now today is that one little bit there. It's a shame you're only here for pancakes because I'm all out of pancakes. But I do have a book of the week in a minute, so we'll do that. So yeah, going to weave all that together and talk about that story of the industrial history and the establishment of Outer Harbour, and a few drone shots um, of the area now, sort of contrasted with what it was. There's not a massive amount of content there. There was an interesting big steel factory there called Steel Mains that used to be there, huge factory. nothing, almost nothing remains of it now. I can't find much on the internet. And right now I don't have time to go to the libraries. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing your stumble upon content adventures with Beth. And I love stumble upon content. That can be some of the best content, and that's one of the benefits of all of us having mobile phones and gimbals and tiny cameras and stuff. Yeah, I know, Josh. I'm missing out on pancakes too. We're all missing out on pancakes. Drew, welcome. Thanks for coming on board, mate. Loving the way that you're coming out with the videos from the US at the moment. That's really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing your wildlife camera stuff as well, because there's a really interesting niche out there of 24/7 wildlife cameras, and I know from time to time I used to get quite enchanted by them, and scrubbing back and forth through them as well, just to see if anything was happening. So I'd love to see what you can do with that. Um, and I think it's also an interesting test of watch hours, because so many people get to their subscriber numbers and then they find that there's a challenge to push it over the line with watch hours. And so you see people just going crazy with long videos, um, pushing it, really pushing it to get the watch hours. And I, I don't necessarily recommend that content for content's sake. You've got to sort of know what you're doing and why you're doing it. And yeah, so and you're doing really well, Drew. It's really awesome. Um, which leads me just quickly to that subscribe and notifications thing. If you've also got a channel yourself as well, and this goes to what I was saying before about disengaged subscribers, right? So you could have 20,000 subscribers, right? But if you've only got um, 200, right? Which is, if you've got 20,000 subscribers, right, you've probably actually only got about 2,000 engaged subscribers. If you've got 1,000 subscribers, you've probably only got about 100 subscribers that actually ever see your videos. So for RTSP, I'm going to have to look that up, Drew. Um, um, that's it's a 10% notification rate. So I'm guilty of this too, and I don't know why YouTube doesn't fix it, because they probably want more engaged. They should want more engaged subscribers, but I think they're being a little careful about being spammy and intrusive. There might be laws against it. I don't know, but you can hit the button once to subscribe, and if you hit it twice, you get the other notification option. And it really is actually as simple as that. And so I've been meaning to change my shtick about, subscribe. If you liked it, subscribe to my channel, and say something like, if you liked it, subscribe to my channel, but hit the button again and make sure you personalize your notifications. Because then you can personalize your notifications to all or none or custom. And so if you look at your channel, where is it? It is somewhere in one of the tabs, engagement tab. Yeah, turn on the notification bell, pretty much. So, and if you look in the engagement tab, it'll tell you that this channel is at about 10.3%, and the average on YouTube is like 11 to 20%. So it's actually below average, and most channels would probably be a bit like that too. Um, yeah, it's in your channel analytics, and it's under engagement. I'm pretty sure, something like that. You'll find it. Just keep scroll across and scroll down to the bottom, and you'll find it. So there's all notifications, and another urgent notification. Right off the top of my head, can't find it right now. Maybe, well, I can actually. So let's just do that. Won't take me a sec. Do, 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 do. Oh, well, since the old man looks at the other computer. So at least I'm not always looking at one computer. Do, do, do. It's in audience. So go into your studio and then go down to audience and then scroll down to the bottom, and you've got subscriber bell notifications. So there's subscribers who turned on all notifications for your channel, right? 11.4. And then there's subscribers who turned on all notifications for your channel and enabled YouTube notifications. So they might have turned on notifications for your channel, but they might actually have notifications for YouTube as an app switched off, which makes it pointless to get all notifications because then you might just get an email or something like that, but you won't get a pop up. So the harsh reality is that out of 1,000 subscribers, when you put out a video, quite literally only 70 people are going to be notified of it. So yeah, you've got to be really, having come from retail as well, there's a lot of rules there, and one of them was a really cynical rule, the old 2% rule. Like, you make 100 pictures and 2% of people will buy, or 2% of people will be reliably nice to you, or 2% of people will be reliably horrible to you, or 2% of people will go this way. So you need to be really realistic about where you're at with your efforts and with your YouTubes. Yeah, and see that's the thing too. It's adventures with Beth is I agree with you. I rarely get notifications either, and I need to be really honest too. Um, there are times that I will switch off a lot of notifications because you know we are bombarded with notifications. We are bombarded with media. We are as a society as a whole. We are absolutely saturated. Oh God, where's Jeremy? He's usually my producer and stops me from going into screen cap mode. So sorry about that, everybody. Thanks for bearing with me. 7. I know. That's what happens when I leave it in screen capture mode. And I go back to yeah, it is like that. And I go back to a normal screen when I'm trying to show you something that's on an app or something on the computer. Normally Jeremy calls me out on it, but yeah, this time it was Nini. It should be like a producer award. I am going to send you all a name tag. Not that you get paid. Right, we'll move on to book of the week, and this is the bit where I choose a book from my rather smart looking bookshelf behind me, and we'll find out if it's actually full of intelligent stuff or not. Yeah, I hear you, Drew. Totally hear you, Drew. So many things at once, and that's why this experiment of just having this live stream at the same time every week is easy for me and easy for everybody else as well. So let's see what book. Oh, trying to find something fun this time. Maybe not. Maybe the Transformers book. Yeah, we can do that. Oh, I love a good plaid shirt too. Thank you, Nini. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. What is going on here? It's like comment reposting. Oh my goodness. I'm speechless. Because yeah. Thanks for coming back in, JK. I love useless facts. And I also love interesting facts too. So this super intelligent looking bookshelf still has a childhood favorite of mine. Actually, no, really, I bought this about 5 years ago. Um, and this was Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, the movie universe. Um, so yeah, there's lots of things on my bookshelf. I know, Heather. What's going on with that? I funniest thing I've seen. I've never seen that before. Um, oh goodness, here we go. That is really strange. I don't think everybody's copying and pasting. But anyway, um, let me type something. Hmm. Anyway, we're talking about Transformers. Um, who didn't love the first Transformers movie? Seriously, are you dead? Um, now the second, third, and fourth movies were pushing it a bit. And Revenge of the Fallen was the second movie, and that was already pushing it a little bit as well. But I just love pop art, right? Simple pop art stuff. I've got a super cool Transformers thing back there as well. I just love the pop art that surrounded the early renewed Transformers. Michael Bay and his illustrators and concept designers, um, they made some absolutely amazing characters and reinvented these for like a new century. And so some of these pages in here, I secretly love books like this too because they remind me of collecting chewing gum cards at school and swapping cards of like Optimus Prime and Megatron and going through all those going through all that chewing gum just so you could get an Optimus Prime card or a Megatron card or something. And that's what this all reminds me of. And it just even this stuff now that I'm a designer, I see what they're doing with all this, and it's just so cool. Um, yeah, it's an example of books taking the medium of the movie just a little bit deeper, so you can actually sit and read at your own leisure. But it's also complemented by awesome visuals as well. And then, if you want, you can go watch the movie later. Um, what's your favorite Transformers character? Don't tell me Optimus Prime either. Mine's Optimus Prime. Sorry. Um, so that is interesting. Actually, Optimus Prime is my Facebook handle. Don't know how I managed to get that, but I've had that Facebook handle since not long after Facebook was started. Um, Haley Steinfeld. That's out of left field. Love it. Thanks, Josh. No, that's okay, Heather. Um, you're either in or you're out, really. Um, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yeah. Megatron, Bumblebee. I remember back in the day when Megatron was big on the Saturday morning cartoons, right? And those who were there will know. And we get up and watch, um, you know, Transformers at 8:30 or whatever, and then at 8:50, He-Man, Masters of the Universe would come on, and that kind of stuff, and you get the plastic figures in your toy stores, um, and because back then. I was part of a Defense Force family. I was dying to get Megatron or Optimus Prime, but then my parents would buy me Jazz for Christmas, or that little tape that fit into Soundwave's chest that turned into a pterodactyl or something. I was just like, yeah, I don't. Maybe somebody else went through this with Pokemon toys as well, and all you wanted was a particular Pokemon toy, but it was the most popular one in the world, and then your parents just went and bought you the one that was on clearance. Um, that was such an obsessive craze Pokemon, especially when Pokemon Go came onto mobile. Even I got a little bit into Pokemon at that stage because I was just so enamored by the interface, and the way it interfaced with the real world. Was really, really interesting. I'm still intrigued in that kind of augmented reality stuff as well, but uh, maybe a few years off from getting back into that. Welcome, Hunter. Thank you for coming on board. Um, no need to be sorry, which we're always here at 8:15. Voltrex. Are you sure? Hey Mick, are you sure that's not Voltron? Because I had Voltron too. Voltron was awesome. The one with all the lions that turned into legs and arms. And then finally, the head. If anyone, man, if you've seen a cartoon so many times that it just sticks in your head. So there's another question too. There's another general question. Um, before we start to wind it down a little bit tonight, what's your favorite cartoon theme song that you kind of still remember? Um, can't remember it right now because I'm so tired, but I can sing the Roger Ramjet theme song word for word. That used to be on the ABC about 5:30. Um, Roger Ramjet is our hero, hero of the nation, or something like that. So make sure to stay tuned to this station. Speed Racer. Oh, yes. Yes. Go, Speed, go. Here comes Speed Racer. All right, no, I didn't come on this channel or start this channel to sing to anybody. So, Mighty Mouse, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, that is awesome. Uh, Megilla Gorilla. Um, the twins from the first movie, yeah, yeah. No, I agree with that, JK. Absolutely. And then if you want a singing stream, then I'll invite you on board with a video ninja link one day, and you can lead the choir. Um, so we've been going for about 50 minutes now. That's pretty awesome for a birthday stream. Uh, and I really do also want to go check out just what Heather did there with recommending some new people to my channel. I think that is amazing, and I want to go check that out. And I'm also going to go check out. I'm going to go stumble upon Adventures with Beth's channel. Um, so yeah, that's been the first birthday stream. Hats off to you guys. Thank you. You guys make this stream. I just kind of sit in the middle and just talk about things, and love to hear from you guys the most. And hopefully, in future, I can share more of everybody else's content as well. Um, yeah, now I actually have hair somehow. Um, it's been 52 weeks of good chats. I wouldn't be here actually without having been inspired by Drew and Heather's chats, the Friday night chats that you guys used to have. You made it look really, really easy, and gave me sort of a bit more of a gave me a bit more of an impetus to get on board and do it myself. Um, and no, it's not the last week. Here's to another 52 weeks of good chats. But every week there comes a point where we have to say goodbye because I'm kind of running out of voice now. And yeah, I really uh, don't want to just kind of not be doing anything on the stream. I want to try and keep it exciting. So hopefully we've got more exciting news next week. This week I am going to. Well, I have been saving the chats now. I mentioned before, Drew, I didn't save a lot of the early chats because my production was so terrible that it was unwatchable, right? Which is why I'm so grateful to still have an audience because we've gotten to a point now where I've gotten a lot more practice and a bit smoother at it as well. So here's to another 52 weeks. Here's to living the dream, whether it's monetized or not. Um, and here's to everybody enjoying each other's company and watching each other's progression on YouTube and sharing exciting news as well. We've got a lot of regulars now, and I would really appreciate to hear more about what you do. So please, I know you guys can't necessarily share links in the chat, but if you would like to say something and direct us to something there, we can certainly schedule it into upcoming week's chats. So to Drew Adventures with Beth, to come hither with Heather, riding alongside Josh. We've got Ninny, Mick Bellman. We've got JK, as always. You're awesome. We've got Hunters Locomotives. We've got Steve Klink. Gosh, we've had so many people into M&A Mystery Tours, also an awesome channel. People have been around for a really long time. And Graham O'Neill. I think I got everybody. Thank you all individually for coming on board tonight. Thank you to the lurkers as well. If you've stuck around this far, thank you to the temporary viewers and the replayers. We'll see you next week at 8:15 p.m. Thank you. Peace.